North Korea, the latest country to be added to Google Maps. I'm Deborah Kahn. Joining me now is reporter Evan Ramstad in Seoul. Okay, Evan, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is Eric Schmidt was just visiting, Google chairman Eric Schmidt was just visiting Pyongyang. Is this just a coincidence that now North Korea is actually on the map?
Well, Google says it is a coincidence. They say there's no connection between his visit and the fact that they have released this product now, or revised the Google Maps product to include North Korea. One can speculate, of course, about the internal workings of Google and all of that, but actually, this is a crowdsourcing project. That is to say that they invite people from around the world to use a tool that they have called MapMaker, and draw the map and detail the information that they know about inside of North Korea. And it has just reached a stage where the Google people have determined that it is now ready to be published and used on their Google Maps apps and web service. And so this is, in fact, the Google people say this is, in fact, the last blank spot in the world for them to fill in on the Google Maps app.
Okay, any idea how accurate it is and who exactly they relied on to get things like street names? I mean, obviously, we've seen satellite pictures before of North Korea, but how did they get a lot of the detail?
Well, some of the detail is actually available in South Korea. For instance, publishers in Seoul, the government in Seoul have published maps of North Korea, some of them going, of course, back to pre-war, more than 60 years ago and such, and some of them then being updated using satellites and using information from South Koreans who get to go in and visit and things like this, and some, of course, using information from North Koreans who come out of the country. But, of course, those maps aren't super detailed, and neither is this one from Google. In fact, one of the people who has developed a Google Earth map, a Google Earth file, has a file. His name is Curtis Melvin, and he's in the Washington, D.C. area. He runs a blog called North Korea Economy Watch, and his file of Google Earth stuff also crowdsourced with lots of contributors who have been to North Korea, lots of information from North Korean defectors. He's got a lot more detail on his Google Earth file than this Google Maps file itself has in its first iteration.
Okay, and of course, for those of us who read Escape from Camp 14, we know about the famous Gulag prison camps inside North Korea. What is the map? Does it tell us anything about these camps?
Yeah, it's really, to me, one of the most striking features of this Google Maps app now is the way that they have handled the gulags. They have shaded the gulags and shown the actual outline. And so it's very powerful when you're looking at the map and you see this shaded area. You can zoom around on the iPhone or Android phone, and you zoom around with the map, and you see this outlined area actually shaded. It's a very powerful thing to see because these things are enormous. You can see that they are larger than the city of Pyongyang, for instance. They are larger than some American cities. And so it's really striking to see them outlined like this on Google Maps. Some of the details are not perfect, however. You just mentioned Camp 14, and on the Google Map app, it shows it doesn't actually show Camp 14, it shows the adjacent Camp 18 and puts them all together as if Camp 18 is one camp, when actually, people who know the system know that it's actually two camps there. One is 14 and one is 18. So that's a level of detail that, the Google people will have to address in future revisions.
Yeah, and I know, I didn't really realize that some of the camps are really actually quite close to Pyongyang.
Yeah, this one is Camp 14 and Camp 18 together. They're fairly close to Pyongyang itself, just probably an hour and a half drive away. Most of the camps are far more remote than that, up in the mountains in the northeast. Those are considerably larger and known to be sort of the most isolated and probably the harshest in conditions.
Okay, there we go. Google giving us a glimpse, a little bit more of North Korea through its maps. Thanks very much, Evan. That was Evan Ramstad from Seoul. For more on that story, you could go to WSJ.com. I'm Deborah Kahn.